Hey, good morning. Welcome to another Maxum project. Hey, we're back on the Maxum. It's the 24 SCR, and our problem is our marine radio does not broadcast. It receives fine, but does not broadcast. So we're going to show you how we're going to put in a new radio in this boat. Let's see how smooth this one goes. There's the radio. Get the radio out. We can take all the screws out. Take the panel out. This one's still got them held. Oh, screws are different. Now keep track when you take it apart, what screws are different. Alright, so you look down in there, you can see that we've got these. You're holding the radio in place. So we're going to have to loosen those and take them off, and then we'll slide the radio out. I won't be able to show you that on video, but we're going to loosen this and take this out. Okay, so here's our success. We've got the radio out. We took the things out of here. Got the radio off. We unplug that connector. That's where we're going to get our power from. We're going to unhook this for the antenna. And let's go see how our other radio matches up to this one. Hopefully they're very close. Alright. This is our new radio that we bought. Instruction manual, which we've kind of read already some. And then here is the radio. Here's the old radio. And it looks like we've got a fairly good fit. We're going to go see if this fits through the hole in the dash. Before we get too excited, we're going to get out these other pieces. We're going to take these wires and make them so they can't short out to one another. Because these are for accessories that we don't have, and we're going to figure out how to hook this up. So let's see if we got the right threads for here, and let's see if this fits in the hole. Our plan is to use the little brackets over. We might have a screw thread problem here. Looks like we just might. Let's see what we got in here. And we are definitely different, so that means we have an issue. We can't put this in here because it won't go. It would be nice to put this in here. Okay, let's put our old radio aside. Let's see if any of the screws in here go into the sides of this radio. One go over here. Let's see if any of these will go into the side of this radio. Oh, it looks like we do have screws that go into the side of the radio, but they don't go in very far, which is a problem. We could cut those off. I don't know if we got tools to cut those off, but we could cut them off to be like these. Downside being we have to get these out of here. I can get these out, so that's a good sign. We'll get both of those out, and we'll be back. We're going to go see about cutting off a couple of these to be pretty short here. We'll have to do some measuring. We'll measure this and we'll figure out how much we got to cut off. We are going to be able to put a washer and what have you under there. But be back in a few minutes. Alright, so we know what we've got here. We've got to cut this off because it only goes in a little bit here. We could use nuts, but the problem with the nut is this long piece hits this other piece, so we have to figure that out. So that is that amount right there is all we're allowed to have hang out into the radio. So when you look at this, we're going to have to take this and cut it off like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a nut on here, bolt these together, and then cut it off outside the nut. Then we're going to bolt them together like this. Take the hacksaw, cut it here. Going to prepare both of those. We'll have to run up the shore, get our hacksaw, cut these off. We'll be back in a few. Okay, so we wrapped these in some tape. The aerial for GPS, the wires for remote speakers and things like that. Temporarily until we get those other items to add. So now we're going to go wire this in with some crimp connections, this piece here. Alright, so we took these up the shore, we cut them off, and we ground them off. So now we got to unscrew the nut here to put a wrench on there. And put a screwdriver on the other side. Okay, so we got these, which should go in the side of the radio now. And look at that, goes in the side of the radio. Does bottom out, but it's got good space to here, so we're good. Time to get this ready to go. Need the two power cables out. Put them out like this. Put the tie wrap back on. You can make it permanent later, but for now, it's got us a start. We got this to plug in here. Got to hook this up to the ground and this up to the positive off the current feed. Again, we looked at this and the spacing here is the same. Don't know if we need this plate. Let's take this plate off and see if it fits the other radio. That does not fit the other radio, so we are not going to be using that. So we've got to take care of these wires. We don't like that they're exposed like this. Alright, so we're going to work on this. Start by cutting off the positive and the negative from here. Is that one? Yeah, we'll leave that one for now. This is like in there. Okay, so we stripped that off. Again, never lose these in your bilge. And what we're going to do is we're going to do these one at a time so you don't short them out. Like that. Put this into here. The crimp tool, and then we're going to push this in. twist these. Crimp it tight, a little yank, it's good. A little tug, we're good. We have to add these. Again, it's the black and the red's the positive and the black is the ground. We're going to strip it a little bit farther, just so we can get a little bit of bite in there. Okay, we take the red, fell out. The red in there. Once we got it, get it off, give it a little tug, make sure it's good. Hook up your radio, hook up your antenna first, because the antenna, if you try to broadcast out your antenna, you can damage the radio. I'll put that on. The next thing we're going to do is plug this power in. This is so you can't put it in wrong, it's fixed, so plug that in. Theoretically, the radio should now come on. Go find the power button. It's this one. There it is. Radio's on. Yeah. I don't know where the OK button is. Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So now to see if we're getting signal, we want to see about getting the, you can see what you got there. All right.
Testing the radio.
Okay, can you hear me back?
Say that again?
Can you hear me back?
Yes, I can hear you very faintly.
Well, it's because I'm talking low, because you can hear me through the air.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to install it. It's running.
Okay, over and out.
I'm going to have to tuck these wires that go down underneath. We can reach them from here to tie them up. I push these through here. Push this through here. And see how that's going to go. Just like that. We got to get our brackets on it next. There we go. We're not going to be able to show you the brackets because they're difficult to see and work on at the same time. All right. We are remounted. Now we have to get all these screws back in for all this. Get this plate up. Get this up. All right, those still work, so we know we didn't mess it up. Remember, these screws were the bigger screws. Want to over tighten them, you'll crack the plastic. Not a good thing. Okay, get it installed, power it up again, make sure it still works. Because we don't have the distress set up, we have to tell it okay. We'll put on 16 for now. Now we got a mic holder. That kind of works. Let's look at what the other one looks like, see if we want to switch them out. If I got to drill new holes, I'll leave this one for now, because that'll work just fine. Yeah, the new mic holder will require us to drill some holes. So for now, we're just going to stay with this one. We're going to put this one away. We'll see if that rides okay in there. I think it will. Hey, all right, we got it in. We got a new radio. It works. We're good to go. Now we can broadcast and receive. You saw the check on that. So now we're going to figure out how to put scan channels in memory and things like that. That'll vary by radio, so read your instructions. Don't forget, like and subscribe, post notifications on. Don't miss another video. We'll be back. We're going to get a depth finder GPS for this boat, get that installed, and then we'll figure out how do we interface the radio with the GPS so that we get everything together.